Chapter 23 Blazing Fire. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tang San then asked, Teacher, why hasn't Blazing Academy thought about changing and recruiting other spirit masters to make up for the shortcomings? That Yu Xiaojiang thought for a while and said, the academy is backed by a volcano. It is said that the one behind it is the Fire Leopard sect among the lower four sections. Their academy has a long history, and its history is estimated to be more than 1,000 years. The research on the fire element is very deep, even for martial arts. Soul Palace Academy is probably not as good as other soul masters practicing around volcanoes. It can be said that Blazing Fire Academy knows the most about flames. It is impossible for them to give up on themselves in a school like this. The advantages. Tang San then asked, Teacher, is there any way we can defeat Blazing Fire Academy? That Yu Xiaojiang thought for a while and said, the shortcomings of Blazing Fire Academy are also very obvious. If you want to defeat them, you must persist. As long as you can persist in blocking their attacks again and again, their subsequent soul power will be reduced. Yes. It seems that your former classmate from Notting College, Wang Xiaofei, is also at Blazing Fire College. Tang San said, Yes, I seem to have seen him. When we entered the ring on the first day, he, Huo Wushuang and Huo Wu were walking at the front. Yu Xiaojiang sighed, Wang Xiaofei is also a monster. I wanted to bring him to Shrek Academy at the beginning. I even wanted to accept him as my disciple, but unfortunately this kid had his own ideas and refused my invitation. Flanders interrupted at this time, Xiao Gang, tell me what kind of monster this Wang Xiaofei is. Why doesn't he come to our Shrek Academy? That Yu Xiaojiang thought for a while and said, Wang Xiaofei is one of the most talented students I have ever seen. He is the same age as Tang San. His innate soul power is level 8, and his martial spirit is Fire Phoenix. But this person has trained. He was very hard-working. At that time, he studied at school in the morning, went to the blacksmith shop to make iron in the afternoon, and meditated directly in the blacksmith shop at night. After the 5th grade, he directly applied for graduation. At that time, Xiao San's soul power level was level 25, and Xiao Fei's soul power level was level 25. His soul power has reached level 26. In particular, this person has a very deep understanding of martial arts and cultivation. He has asked me about martial arts knowledge many times, and I am deeply impressed. Flanders sighed, you should have informed me earlier about this little monster, and I would have gone directly to talk to him. Yu Xiaojiang shook his head and said, it's useless. Wang Xiaofei had many choices at that time. There were only 3 schools he really wanted to go to, namely Wuhundian Academy, Jiando Royal Academy and Blazing Fire Academy. It can be seen that he was interested in himself. His goals are very clear. This college is very good in terms of resources and mentors, and Blazing College is indeed the best for him. After hearing what Yu Xiaojiang said, everyone around him fell silent. This was the real monster. Tang San thought for a while and said, Teacher, do you think Xiaofei has reached the soul sect now? Yu Xiaojiang shook his head and said, I don't know, but when he played with Huo Wushuang and Huo Wu, I think he also reached the soul sect. We hit our trump card, and I guess Blazing Fire Academy also hit his soul zone. Everyone was speechless for a while. Finally, Tang San said, although Blazing Fire Academy is relatively powerful now, we are all younger. I believe we will be stronger in the future. Only then did everyone regain their confidence. In the following period, Blazing Academy achieved 17 consecutive victories. Ranked first among all the teams, it has also defeated many veteran strong teams, including Xiangjia Academy, Tianshui Academy, and Shenfeng Academy. The only strong team that has not yet defeated Thunder Academy, Xiaofei took advantage of the memory of his previous life and placed bets on Shrek's games many times. He also placed bets on some key games. As of now, he has earned nearly 1 million gold soul coins and is considered a rich man. Many people have evaluated the participating colleges and students. There is no doubt that Blazing Academy is recognized as number 1 in the Tiando division. The biggest dark horse is also Shrek Academy. Shrek Academy is currently ranked 5th, tied with Elephant Academy, hovering near the promotion line. The current specific rankings are Blazing Fire Academy, Divine Wind Academy, Jianshui Academy, Thunder Academy, Elephant Academy, Shrek Academy, and Sanhui Academy. Among them, the results of Shrek Academy and Elephant Academy were tied. Wu is rated as the number 1 genius in Tiando, and is expected to become the sole king before the age of 20. The 18-year-old Wu is already level 47, and he can advance to level 3 no matter how late he is in 2 years. You must know that those who reach the sole king before the age of 20 are basically the offspring of a titled Douluo. Blazing Academy has 2 good prospects, Wu Shuang. As a result, Wu has been feeling windy when walking recently. She holds her head high while walking on the road and screams loudly. As for Dinhua Tianchen, when he saw some old friends recently, they were all smiling, as if they were about to rejuvenate. After all, his granddaughter is the treasure of his heart. Next is Wu Shuang, who is known as the number 1 young genius master in the Tiando Empire. He is just 20 years old and already at level 48. It is estimated that at the age of 22, he can reach Sole King, which is similar to the geniuses in Wuhun Palace. Shrek is the biggest dark horse. They basically win against weak teams. Unexpectedly, they actually defeated the powerful Elephant Academy team. Zhu Zhuqing and Xiao Wu have both received greater attention. For some unknown reason, Xiao Wu was able to compete openly, and even Sword Douluo didn't notice that she was a 100,000-year spirit beast. Maybe Tang Hao used some treasure to cover her up. To this day, among all the people in Blazing Academy, there are only 4 soul sects exposed. Xiaofei and the other 2 soul sects have been playing soy sauce and have not appeared. The next match is between Blazing Academy and Shrek Academy. After Shrek Academy changed its team uniform, it is now the biggest dark horse in the Tiando region. The popularity is good, but it is still far behind compared to Blazing Academy. Wu has become the dream lover of countless people with her superb soul power, perfect performance, and beautiful appearance. Every time she appears, the whole audience screams. She has become the undisputed popular king in the Tiando area. Shrek basically arranged the strongest lineup this time. Except for Ning Rongrong, everyone else appeared. Ning Rongrong was replaced by Tai Long. Blazing Fire Academy is still the lineup of the 4 soul sect, using the sharp knife formation. Wu Shuang took the lead and rushed into the Shrek lineup with his personnel. Dai Mubai immediately opened the first and third soul skills, such as the White Tiger Body Barrier and White Tiger King Kong transformation in the original book. Dai Mubai looked obviously very tired. Fatty and Xiao Wu came to support Dai Mubai decisively, but were blocked by their respective soul sect opponents. Tang San still used the meteor hammer tactic, but he felt much more tired. All the members of Blazing Fire Academy were fire element soul masters. Every time the blue-silver grass came into contact with the people of Blazing Fire, it burned very quickly, forcing Tang San to use more soul power to maintain the blue-silver grass. The biggest feature of Qihua Academy now is speed. After rock climbing and weight training, everyone's body coordination is very good, and except for Wu and Wu Shuang, the others are spirit masters of the agile attack system, and their strength is not bad. It can be said that all the personnel of Qihua now have the advantages of both the agile attack system and the strong attack system, which is very difficult for opponents to fight against. In the end, Oscar was the first to be eliminated, followed by Xiao Wu and Tai Long. Although the 2 are strong attack systems, Tai Long's speed can't keep up, and Xiao Wu is also lacking in strength. Although Tang San broke out after Xiao Wu was eliminated, Qihua's personnel advantage is too great. Then Ma Hongjun and Zhu Zhuqing were eliminated. Facing all fire spirit masters, Ma Hongjun's fire has no advantage, and Zhu Zhuqing's speed advantage is not obvious. Moreover, Qihua has 2 soul masters with fire crane martial spirits, and they are a little restrained. Finally, Qihua surrounded Tang San and Dai Mubai. The 2 supported with difficulty. In the end, they were eliminated. It can be said that Qihua is the most restrained Shrek among all teams. Chapter 24 Blushing. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Since Tang San lacks immunity to ice and fire, his strength is obviously much lower than in the original work. What Tang San's blue-silver grass feared most was fire. This resulted in a complete loss of the game. After the game, Tang San and others felt very disappointed. At this time, Yi Xiaojiang said, "Xiao San, I don't blame you for this game, I blame my wrong judgment. Only after fighting against them did I know that Blazing Academy is much stronger than I thought." Tang San lowered his head and thought for a while, then said, "I don't know why, but I feel that the people in Blazing Fire Academy have particularly flexible bodies. Everyone is very fast and very powerful." Yu Xiaojiang nodded and said, "Yes, after you fought with Chihua, I also discovered this problem. I don't know what method they used. They were able to practice both speed and strength so well at the same time. It can be said that how many of them can. This is what I find strange about him being both an agile and powerful soul master." Several people discussed it and felt they had no clue, so they went back. After the game, Xiaofei, Huowu and Huowushuang walked out of the spirit fighting arena. "Xiaofei, I'm in a happy mood today, why don't we go to the auction house to have a look?" Huowushuang and Xiaofei both nodded, feeling a little bored indeed, so the three of them walked towards the auction house and kept walking along the road. Xiaofei suddenly felt that something was wrong. The distance between the Great Soul Fighting Arena and the auction house is very close. Why haven't we arrived after walking for so long? Is there a problem? Pay attention to the surrounding environment again, and there is indeed something wrong with the environment. Although the person was still busy, he seemed to have no soul. Xiaofei instantly understood what was going on and secretly relaxed his right hand. Suddenly, the vision in the eyes of the three people changed. The scene in front of them changed, and the three of them were already in a wedding hall. Xiaofei saw that he was actually wearing a red dress and was getting married to a girl, and he was actually wearing a red hijab. Upon closer inspection, this girl turned out to be Huowu, and the young man next to her was Huowushuang. Huowushuang handed Huowu's hand to Xiaofei and solemnly said, "Xiaofei, I will leave my sister to you from now on. You must treat her well." Huowu said very domineeringly, "Xiaofei, don't worry, after you marry me, I will definitely treat you well, and I will protect you no matter where you are from now on." Immediately afterwards, the two entered the bridal chamber and had a lingering moment. Suddenly, there was a loud noise in the sky, countless killers ran in, and there were fire lights everywhere. Several uncles and the dean of the Hua family fell in a pool of blood. Several of them were stabbing Huowu and Xiaofei with knives. Xiaofei yelled and walked toward the killer. Suddenly, Xiaofei's eyes flashed, and a burst of light shot directly at the killer. The killer felt dizzy for a moment. I saw 5 steel claws stretched out from Xiaofei's fingers, and he quickly slashed at the killer, and the killer was cut into several pieces in an instant. Immediately afterwards, the scene in front of them shattered instantly, and all three people opened their eyes. Huowu and Huowushuang had pain and confusion on their faces, while Xiaofei was close to an old man with a gloomy expression. The old man had been divided into several sections by Xiaofei's steel claws, while Xiaofei sat on the ground, panting. The old man vomited blood and said with difficulty, "I didn't expect you to be the strongest among the three, and you have an external soul bone." Xiaofei snorted coldly and said, "Sanhui Academy Shernyan. You actually know me?" The old man died with an unwilling expression. "It's actually Shernyan." Huowu and Huowushuang came over quickly, and Huowushuang said, "Xiaofei, you are getting more and more powerful. Even Shernyan can't beat you." When Huowu came over, he didn't say anything, but his face looked a little blushing. Xiaofei and Huowushuang suddenly remembered the scene in their dream, and Xiaofei swallowed. Huowu's face became even redder, and she said angrily, "What are you two looking at? No one is allowed to say anything about what happened today, or I will chop you two up." The two of them suddenly sweated profusely. The three of them stayed speechless for more than 10 minutes, until all three of them had almost recovered. Huowushuang said, "What should we do now? Shernyan is already dead, and there is no evidence of his death." Xiaofei looked at the surrounding environment. The area was very remote, and it was indeed a good place for killing people and stealing goods. Xiaofei's eyes flashed and he remembered something. A ball of flame ignited and flew toward Shun Yan's body. The body burned for a while, and sure enough, a sparkle appeared in the fire, and Xiaofei quickly took out the things. Huo Wushuang and Huo Wu were surprised. They didn't expect that Shun Yan actually had a head soul bone. Xiaofei quickly put away the soul bones and looked around carefully. After making sure that there was no one around, he said to the two of them, "Let's go back first." The two of them nodded and quickly returned to the city. After the three returned to a room, Huo Wushuang quickly called Huo Lai and Huo Tianchen. Huo Wushuang quickly told the two of them what had just happened. The two looked at the head soul bones on the table, and looked at Xiaofei and the others in fear. Huo Tianchen said, "Xiaofei, you can actually kill a soul saint. You are not a small character in Sanhui Academy. Many soul Douluo don't like to face him." Huo Tianchen continued, "Since you killed Shun Yan, Xiaofei should keep the head soul bone himself." "Did you do it cleanly?" Xiaofei said quickly, "I looked carefully and no one should have noticed it." Looking at the soul bone, Xiaofei thought for a moment and said, "The properties of this soul bone are not in line with mine. Sister Huowu, your martial spirit is auxiliary. This soul bone will absorb it better for you. It really doesn't work. You can sell it to the Qibao Glazed sect. I believe they really want this kind of soul bone." The five people discussed for a while, and finally, Huo Wu happily put away the soul bone. Huo Wu suddenly said, "Did you not get the illusion? You pretended to be in the illusion just to kill Shun Yan in one blow." Xiaofei hurriedly shook his head and said, "No, I was indeed in the illusion. It's just that my mental power is special and can break the illusion." Huo Wu was immediately furious, "Then you were in the illusion just now." Then he looked at the people around him and left the room angrily. Huo Wushuang stepped on Xiaofei and said, "Why don't you go and explain it to Huo Wu?" Xiaofei had no choice but to walk down to Huo Wu's door and knocked on the door, but Huo Wu didn't open it. Then Xiaofei continued to knock on the door. Huo Wu opened the door and said angrily, "Xiaofei, I'm so nice to you, but you are such a person." Xiaofei rolled his eyes speechlessly and said in his heart, "What kind of person am I?" Xiaofei had to say seriously, "Sister Huo Wu, I really have no way this time. When I was in Sanhui Academy, I was a dignified soul saint, but I am just a small soul sect. If I don't do this today, I'm afraid all three of us will die." Huo Wu finally said in a low voice, "Even if you have no way, you can't be like today." "What are we?" Xiaofei broke into a sweat. Chapter 25 First. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Early the next morning, Huo Wu walked up to Xiaofei in front of everyone and said domineeringly, "Xiaofei, you'd better forget what happened yesterday. If you dare to talk nonsense, believe it or not, I will break your legs. No matter what I think, I will never be responsible for you." Then he turned his head and left with a proud look. Everyone around looked at the confused Xiaofei with strange eyes, which made Xiaofei smile bitterly. Next, the game continued, and the three of them returned to their usual appearance. On this day, when Xiaofei and the others were walking on the road, they unexpectedly met Flanders, Yu Xiaojiang and Shrek. Xiaofei remembered some things from the past school, so he had to go over and say hello, Master, Tang San, Xiao Wu, hello, long time no see. All three of them greeted Xiaofei, hello, Xiaofei. Xiaofei pointed to Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang next to him and said, "These two are my classmates, Huo Wushuang and Huo Wu." Huo Wushuang and Huo Wu also said hello to them. They are all students participating in the Soul Master competition, and everyone has basically interacted with them. Huo Wushuang and Huo Wu are the big stars in the Soul Master competition, while Shrek is the dark horse in the Soul Master competition. Yu Xiaojiang thought for a while and said to Xiaofei, "Xiaofei, are you free now? Why don't we sit together?" Xiaofei thought for a while and agreed. So a few people came to a restaurant nearby. Yu Xiaojiang, Xiaofei, Tang San, Xiao Wu and Flanders sat together. Others sat at another table and chatted together. Yu Xiaojiang said, "Xiaofei, how have you been at Blazing Academy these past few years? I think you haven't played in the Soul Master competition yet. Xiaofei smiled and said, this is all the teacher's arrangement. I may not play in the finals. Flender interrupted and said, classmate Xiaofei, I think you have good qualifications. Why didn't you consider coming to our Shrek Academy? If you go to Shrek, you will definitely focus on training. Xiaofei thought for a while and said, Dean Flanders, my martial spirit is in the element of fire. For learning the element of fire, there should be no academy that is better than Blazing Fire Academy. I think Tang San He Xiao will perform very well in the Soul Master competition, probably thanks to Shrek's training. Then both sides exchanged a few words in a nonchalant manner. Suddenly, what did Flanders think of? He said to Xiaofei, Xiaofei, can I ask you a question? If it's inconvenient, forget it. Xiaofei said, Dean Flender, if you have any questions, just ask them directly. I have asked the master many times before. Flanders said, I have a student whose martial soul is also a fire phoenix. He has a lot of evil fire in his body. He himself has been troubled by evil fire. Have you ever encountered evil fire? Xiaofei thought for a while and said, actually, I also had evil fire when I first started practicing. The flame of phoenix fire is not pure, and there will be some evil fire mixed in it. I was also very troubled at the beginning. At that time, the idea is to train and study hard, and train until you are exhausted every day, then the evil fire will have less influence. Also, when absorbing soul rings, try to absorb fire-attributed soul beasts and those with phoenix bloodline. My third and fourth soul rings are both earth-fire lizards. After absorbing these two soul rings, the influence of evil fire will be much smaller. It means that the Blazing Fire Academy has more research on flames, and the Blazing Fire Academy is next to a volcano, which is good for controlling the evil fire. At this time, Yu Xiaojiang murmured next to him, by absorbing the fire attribute, especially the soul beast with the phoenix blood attribute, the phoenix flame in the body can be made stronger and purer, and it can dominate the flame in the body. At the same time, it can also use the volcanic environment is indeed a good idea. Yu Xiaojiang suddenly stood up and said to Xiaofei, Xiaofei, I'm sorry for inviting you to Shrek Academy before. Some of your research on martial arts is very profound, even deeper than mine. Thank you very much. Today is you. Flender, who was next to him, also pulled Ma Hongjun over and said to Xiaofei, thank you for sharing your experience. I owe you a favor. You can come to me at any time if you encounter anything in the future. Xiaofei said with a smile, to fight against the evil fire, the main thing is that we must be strong-willed. The two parties continued to chat for a few words and then separated. Huo Wu suddenly said to Xiaofei, Xiaofei Z, is this all your experience in dealing with evil fire? Xiaofei shook his head and said, this is only part of it, but no matter what, personal willpower and physical strength are the basis for dealing with evil fire. In fact, that little fat guy has a good talent. If he worships Dean Hua Tianchen as his teacher, he will probably be the best in dealing with evil fire. There will be ways to help him solve the blood and fire problem. Huo Wushuang asked strangely, why don't I know that Grandpa can deal with the evil fire problem? Xiaofei laughed and said, in terms of understanding of flames, the Dean should be the strongest in the world, not to mention the evil fire. The next game became more intense. In order to compete for the 5 promotion spots, many teammates resorted to the bottom of the box. For example, Jianshui Academy used Shui Binger and Shui Wu's martial soul fusion skills, Xiang Jia Academy's Hu Yanli used the head soul bone, and Thunder Academy's Yu Jianxin transformed into a dragon was also very good. Of course, the most eye-catching thing was Tang San's use of the clear sky hammer. With Tang San's use of the clear sky hammer, the secret of Tang San's twin martial spirits and the clear sky sect's disciples could no longer be kept. The reputation of the Clear Sky Hammer's #1 martial spirit in the world is still there. There are many people wooing him. Of course, there are also a lot of hostility. For example, Salas from the Spirit Hall always has a weird voice. Xiaofei feels that there is a strong undercurrent now, and it will probably be chaotic soon. with the outbreak of Tang San's Clear Sky Hammer, Shrek Academy won several key battles, including the challenge against Song Hui's 7-in-1 fusion skill and the challenge against Thunder Academy. After 28 rounds of competition, the top 5 teams were finally listed. They are Blazing Academy, Divine Wind Academy, Tianshui Academy, Shrek Academy, and Thunder Academy. Xiangjia Academy was eliminated unexpectedly. Finally, Emperor Shui personally presented the awards. The top 5 teams went to the VIP podium to receive the qualification certificates. The ceremony was not complicated. Under the announcement of the host, the captains and vice-captains of the top 5 teams walked onto the podium. Next, Emperor Shui, the leader of the Seven Treasures Glazed Sect, Ning, and the Platinum Bishop of Saras personally presented the qualification certificates and bonuses to the 5 teams that entered the promotion match. Finally, Emperor Shui spoke. I have decided to confer the title of Viscount on the 10 of you. The title of Baron on the other students from your 5 academies. After you graduate, the door of the imperial family will be open to you at any time. Your fiefdom will be uniformly distributed after you graduate. At the same time, Emperor Shui encouraged the students. Excellent students in the promotion and finals will receive various rewards, including academy subsidies, soul ring hunting, etc. Moreover, if a team can win the final game, the team's title will be promoted by 1 level, and the prefix of the academy will be increased by the word royal, which will be supported by the empire's finances. These rewards almost shocked the people on the scene. And the Platinum Bishop of the Spirit Hall, Saras, mocked Emperor Shui in various ways, full of gunpowder. In this way, even Wang Xiaofei, who did not play, became a baron inexplicably, and the contradiction between the Spirit Hall and the Tiando royal family and the Seven Treasures Glazed sect seemed to be even greater. Chapter 26 Angel. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Next is the promotion round. The promotion match was held at the Royal Grand Campus outside the city. Outside the main campus, a total of 10,000 royal knights surrounded the entire main campus, their armors shining brightly. Between the large circle formed by the knights and the competition venue, 15 participating teams have arrived, even the teams that received a bye today. Even if they don't have to compete, they still have to clearly see the strength of their opponents. The rules of the competition are simple. Each team sends 7 players to participate, and each player must fight until he is defeated. If the winner wins, he will face the next opponent until all 7 players on one side are defeated. For Blazing Fire Academy, this is a very easy matter, because Blazing Fire Academy has the largest number of soul sects, for soul sections. As the game progressed, Huo Wushuang and Huo Wu were basically the ones wreaking havoc on the audience in Blazing Academy. The two of them have worn each other many times and become the best performing students among all the personnel. This afternoon, after the game, someone suddenly walked up to the 3 of them and said to them, "Hello, 3 soul masters. Are you free? Our prince invites you to get together." Xiaofei secretly thought, it's bad. Although Xiaofei has been hiding his strength level is still easy for titled Douluo to detect. But His Highness the Crown Prince's invitation cannot be refused. When the 3 of them entered a beautiful room, they saw only 3 people sitting inside. One of the beautiful and elegant young people said, "Hello, 3 classmates, I am Xue Qinghe. These 2 are Ning Fengji and Sor Douluo, the masters of the Seven Treasures Glazed sect. I'm sorry to disturb you. Greetings to His Highness the Crown Prince, sect leader Ning, and senior Sor Douluo." The 3 of them saluted quickly. These 3 were among the most powerful people in the Tiando Empire. Xue Qinghe said, "Classmate Huo Wu, classmate Huo Wushuang, you 2 are the students who performed best in the qualifying and promotion rounds. Can I ask what your plans are in the future? Have you ever thought about playing for the Tiando royal family?" Huo Wushuang hurriedly said, "Your Highness, my grandfather is the Dean of Blazing Fire College. After graduation, Huo Wu and I should both return to Blazing Fire College to teach." His Royal Highness the Crown Prince chuckled and said, "It's a pity. I can only wish you victory in the Soul Master competition and carry forward Blazing Fire Academy." The 3 of them were about to leave when suddenly Sor Douluo opened his eyes that had been closed and said, "Wait a minute, little friend, what is your name?" Seeing Sword Douluo's actions, Ning Fengji and Xue Qinghe both a little surprised. Wang Xiaofei said quickly, Senior Sword Douluo, hello, my name is Wang Xiaofei. Sword Douluo looked at Xiaofei, nodded, and said, yes, you are very good for having such soul power at such a young age. Are you interested in joining the Seven Treasures Glazed sect? If you arrive at the Seven Treasures Glazed sect, we will vigorously train you. Xiaofei said quickly, Senior Sword Douluo, I am a student of Blazing Fire Academy. The academy trained me. My goal is to become a teacher of Blazing Fire Academy in the future, Everbright Blazing Fire Academy. Sword Douluo shook his head and said, Hua Tianchen from Blazing Fire Academy only has the cultivation level of Soul Douluo. If you join the Seven Treasures Glazed sect, Bon Douluo Gu Rong and I are both titled Douluo and can give you guidance. You will obtain the achievements will be higher. Xiaofei said again, thank you, Senior Sword Douluo, for your respect. Xiaofei is just an ordinary student of Blazing Fire Academy. His future goal is to become a teacher of Blazing Fire Academy, teach and educate people for Blazing Fire Academy, and bring glory to Blazing Fire Academy. Sword Douluo shook his head, sat down, and closed his eyes again. Ning Fengji saw this and said with a smile, hello, classmate Xiaofei, I am Ning Fengji, the master of the Qibao Glazed sect. You can come to our Qibao Glazed sect as a guest at any time when you are free. After saying this, he also held a token from the Qibao Glazed sect. He gave it to Xiaofei and said at the same time, this is the token of our Qibao Glazed sect, please accept it. Xiaofei quickly accepted the token and thanked sect leader Ning and Sword Douluo. After Xiaofei and the others left, Ning Fengji looked at Sword Douluo with some confusion. Uncle Jian, is there anything different about this Wang Xiaofei? Sword Douluo opened his eyes and said, 14 years old, level 49. Fire attribute is very good. Ning Fengji and Xue Qinghe were both very surprised. Uncle Jian, is Wang Xiaofei so exaggerated? Sword Douluo shook his head, this kid's whole body is boiling with energy and blood, and his soul power is very solid. It shows that his physical fitness is very good. I have never seen anyone who is more exaggerated than him at this level. Xue Qinghe and Ning Fengji were both lost in thought. In the end, Xue Qinghe smiled and said, I didn't expect Blazing Academy to still have this trump card. It seems to be for the finals. That night both Xue Qinghe and Ning Fengji received a message. Wang Xiaofei, an orphan from Holy Soul Village, was raised by the village elder Jack. He has an innate soul power of level 8, a martial soul flame bird, and was later confirmed as a fire phoenix by Yu Xiaojiang. Graduated from Notting Junior School 5 years later, with a soul level of 26 at the age of 11, and joined the Blazing Academy a year after graduation. Xue Qinghe and Ning Fengji were both puzzled. Wang Xiaofei's information was really simple, and it was only 3 years after graduation that he was promoted from level 26 to level 49, 8 levels each year. Anyone who wasn't a close confidant would have suspected that this information was fake. Xue Qinghe said to the darkness, Yu Long, how did you go to investigate? A big man came out of the darkness and said, Sword Douluo is very accurate. He is indeed 14 years old, level 49, and it looks like he will be able to level up soon. Do you want to tell the Pope to go and win over him? Xue Qinghe glanced at Yu Long. He said, don't tell that woman yet. Let's meet Wang Xiaofei alone in a few days. A few days later, when Xiaofei was resting in the hotel, someone suddenly knocked on the door. When he opened the door, it turned out to be a soldier. The soldier said respectfully, Student Wang, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince invites you. Xiaofei thought about it and it seemed that he couldn't escape. So he followed the soldier to a hotel. This time, Xue Qinghe was the only one in the room. Xue Qinghe was holding a file. Looking closely, it turned out to be Wang Xiaofei's own file. After Xiaofei entered the room, he saluted Xue Qinghe first. After a round of polite gestures, Xue Qinghe asked Xiaofei to sit opposite him. Xue Jinhe said, Student Xiaofei, can I ask you a question? Why didn't you have any news for a year after graduation, and you went from level 26 to the current level 49 in more than 3 years. Xiaofei quickly told Xue Qinghe what he had said before at Qihua Academy. Xue Qinghe also sighed when he heard it. Of course, Xiaofei once again rejected Xue Qinghe's invitation, still because he wanted to be a teacher at Qihua Academy, which made Xue Qinghe speechless. Halfway through the conversation, Xue Qinghe suddenly said, "Xiaofei, what do you think of the Spirit Hall?" Xiaofei knew that the main point of today was coming. He thought about it seriously and said, "My spirit was awakened with the help of the Spirit Hall. Before I was 11 years old, I had been receiving subsidies from the Spirit Hall. Without these subsidies, I might not have achieved what I have now. When I graduated from Notting Junior Spirit Master Academy, my goals were the Spirit Hall Spirit Master Academy, Tiando Royal Academy and Blazing Fire Spirit Master Academy. In the end, I chose Blazing Fire Academy. I think the Spirit Hall Spirit Master Academy is a bit chaotic at this stage. I think the belief of the Spirit Hall should be the Angel of Peace." Xue Qinghe smiled and said, "Then why didn't you come to Tiando Royal Academy?" Xiaofei shook his head and said, "I am a civilian. The resources of Tiando Royal Academy are very good, but I feel that the atmosphere is not suitable for my study. I also heard that my fellow villager Tang San and others were expelled from Tiando Royal Academy, so I am a little scared. And Blazing Fire Academy is indeed suitable for the development of our fire element spirit masters." Finally, the conversation ended in a warm atmosphere between the two. After Xiaofei left here, he couldn't help wiping away the cold sweat. "I know I have walked through the gates of hell." Xue Qinghe's face turned pale. "It's all because of that woman, otherwise these are all talents of our Spirit Hall." The two big men next to him were so scared that they didn't say a word. Chapter 27 Wuhun City. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The qualifying match does not affect the list of players participating in the finals. The most famous one is Tang San's battle with Feng Xiaotian. The chaotic cloak hammer method fought against the swift wind wolf with 36 consecutive kills, but Feng Xiaotian lost. Xiaofei has a question recently, which has been puzzled for a long time. Feng Xiaotian, a famous dog licker in the original novel, has not been seen for a long time, so Xiaofei quietly found Huo Wushuang and asked, "Why haven't I seen Feng Xiaotian come to Huo Wu recently?" Huo Wushuang looked at Xiaofei with contempt, and finally said helplessly, "Last year, Feng Xiaotian came to Huo Wu, and Huo Wu was really impatient, so she told Feng Xiaotian that she was dating you, and Huo Wu also said that she didn't like men weaker than him, which made Feng Xiaotian autistic." For a long time, Xiaofei was speechless. It turns out that he can take the blame like this. People sit at home and the pot comes from the sky. No wonder Feng Xiaotian has a dark face recently. Huo Wushuang looked at Xiaofei, then shook his head and left. Blazing Fire Academy finally advanced with the first place. After all the personnel rested for a month, they set out on the road to Wuhun City under the leadership of Xue Qinghe and 500 knights. Xiaofei has been practicing hard during this period, and he feels that he is only a little bit away from becoming a Soul King. Xiaofei has been thinking about a question: why after reaching level 40? Why is his practice speed so slow? He has only been promoted to level 6 in 2 years, and now he is almost caught up by Huo Wushuang and Huo Wu. Although in terms of combat power, the two of them combined are not his opponents, but he always feels very far away. So Xiaofei recalled the 4 original works he had read from beginning to end in the carriage, and always felt that he had missed something. Suddenly, Xiaofei's eyes flashed. Xiaofei stood up unconsciously, causing Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang next to him to be surprised. Xiaofei finally understood that after absorbing the 4th soul ring, his flame had evolved into the ultimate fire. The practice of the ultimate attribute, between level 30 and level 70, the practice speed will be very slow, like a turtle crawling. But if it exceeds level 70, the subsequent upgrades will be like riding a rocket. Xiaofei was still a little unwilling to accept it. You know, in less than 10 years, the world will be in chaos, so Xiaofei got off the carriage and walked to the side of Dean Huitianshan's carriage. "Hello, Dean, I have something to ask you." The Dean called Xiaofei into the carriage, and the two sat face to face. "Xiaofei, do you have any questions for me? Xiaofei then told Hua Tianqian that his cultivation speed had slowed down. Just as Xiaofei finished speaking, Hua Tianqian smiled and said, I thought you wouldn't ask me. In fact, if you ask other people this question, I guess no one can answer it, including the old men in the spirit hall. But you asked the right person. My ancestors also had a similar phenomenon to yours. That ancestor was also a cultivation maniac. After your situation appeared, he kept thinking about this problem, consulted all the ancient books, and finally found out the reason. The ancient books only recorded 4 words, the ultimate fire. That ancestor insisted on practicing, and after it reached level 70, the speed of practice was much faster than others. And there is another point, the ultimate attribute, and another feature, that is, invincible at the same level. Hua Tiancheng stretched out his right hand and summoned his own flame. Xiaofei, you took out your flame and compared it with me. Xiaofei also stretched out his right hand and condensed a ball of flame. Xiaofei's flame can actually absorb and destroy Hua Tianqian's flame. Hua Tianqian continued, you have been working very hard in the past 2 years, practicing hard, exercising hard, and improving your soul power, but you have not seriously studied your martial soul, whether it is the fire phoenix itself or the fire phoenix's flame. You have used it very little. How much do you know about the fire phoenix? The only way to speed up the practice of the ultimate fire is to seriously understand your own flame. Xiaofei returned to his carriage. Wu Shuang and Huo Wu looked at Xiaofei with worry. Huo Shuang, Huo Wu, and Xiaofei stayed together almost every day. They were still clear about some changes in Xiaofei's thoughts, especially knowing that Xiaofei was impatient now. Moreover, in the past 2 years, Huo Shuang and Huo Wu have improved their soul power by more than 10 levels, while Xiaofei has only improved his soul power by 6 levels, which is not normal at all. Xiaofei smiled at the two and said, it's okay. I asked Dean Huo about some questions just now. Now I feel very good. The two breathed a sigh of relief. Walking on the road that day, there was suddenly a strong soul power fluctuation in front of them. When they opened the window, they saw countless people in black surrounding the convoy and fighting with the soldiers around them. For a moment, everywhere was filled with fire and soul power. Xiaofei looked carefully and found that there were not many people walking towards Qihua, and the one with the highest soul power was only a 7-ring soul saint. And the Dean Hua Tianqian, a soul Douluo, didn't even take out the carriage. Xiaofei then quietly pulled Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang and said, we just need to stay here, don't go to the battle, their target is not us. Sure enough, if the students of Qihua Academy don't take the initiative to fight, those soul saints will not pay attention to this side. The battle continued, and suddenly, a huge chrysanthemum appeared in the sky, and countless sword lights appeared on the other side. Finally, the soul power fluctuations slowly disappeared, and the battle should be over. Back on the carriage, Huo Wushuang and Huo Wu asked in confusion, how do you know that this battle has nothing to do with us? The huge chrysanthemum that appeared is the Qirong Tong Tian chrysanthemum, which is the spirit of Ju Douluo of the Spirit Hall. Just now, it was the Spirit Hall that was doing the work. Their target is not us at all. Huo Wushuang asked again, then their target is? Clear Sky Hammer. We can't get involved in the feud between the 3 upper sects and the Spirit Hall, and we don't have that ability. Finally, the 3 of them were silent. 5 days later, a huge castle appeared in the sky. This is the Spirit City. The city wall is 80 meters high, and there are 6 walls surrounding the entire Spirit City. Xiaofei looked at the back of the Spirit Hall and saw a huge angel statue. Could it be the legendary Douluo Hall? Everyone got off the carriage, and only the 15 participating teams and their teachers could enter the Spirit City. Xiaofei also followed the team and walked slowly towards the Spirit City. After staying in the hotel, Xiaofei and the other 2 walked on the road of the Spirit City and started shopping. Looking at the bustling streets, are they vendors or tourists? They all have a warm face. There is no class difference between people. There are no nobles or slaves here. Xiaofei thought about his life in his previous life. Perhaps this was the life that people wanted. However, the war broke everything. The Spirit Hall started the war and lost it. 10,000 years later, it was hard to see this phenomenon again. And the reason for all this was just because of a crazy woman. Xiaofei walked on the road, admiring this last beautiful scenery, feeling infinitely lonely. Chapter 28 The Finals begins. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. 3 days later, the highly anticipated finals of the Continental Soul Master Elite Competition began. Tianqian organized everyone together, including substitutes and several teachers. After looking at everyone carefully, he said, "The finals are about to begin. Let me tell you the rules of the finals." A total of 33 teams participated in the finals. Among them, the 3 seed teams were composed of 2 empires. The team selected by Wuhundian Academy is undoubtedly the biggest threat to you. They are also the biggest stumbling block to your final victory. There are only 5 rounds in the finals. It takes a shorter time than the qualifiers and promotion rounds. But because the competition is fierce, there will be 1 day of rest and adjustment time between each round and the next round. The final there are 3 days of adjustments before the 5th round. In the first round, the 3 seed teams will have a bye, and the remaining 30 teams will compete for 15 promotion places. The losers will be directly eliminated. The brutal knockout will definitely destroy each team. The division team must work harder, and you must not be careless. At this time, the hidden abilities of all teams will be released, and there will be no reservations about even the teams you have defeated before. According to the rules of the competition, the first-place college in the second round of the 2 major Empire Division promotions will have a bye. In other words, after we win the first round, we will get enough rest time in the second round. This is also the reason why the promotion competition exists, meaning by then, 8 of the 16 teams will compete for the third round, plus our 2 bye teams, there will be a total of 10 teams. The second place in the promotion round will get a bye in the third round, and the remaining 8 teams will decide 4 places to advance to the 4th round with them. There will be no byes in the 4th round. Therefore, in the promotion round, only the top 2 teams can benefit from the finals, and the earlier the team gets a bye, the more advantageous it will be, because it can avoid being eliminated prematurely. In the 5th and final round, only 3 teams will enter the competition. Each of the 3 teams will be eliminated in a round-robin manner with 7 players in a promotion round to determine the team with the strongest individual strength. Then the losers' 2 teams will fight in a team battle, and the winner will challenge the winner of the previous individual competition to determine the final championship. Do you all understand? Tianqian said seriously, "You are the strongest of all the teams I have led. You have put in all your efforts for this competition. You work harder than the students from other colleges. I believe you can make it to the end." Xiaofei, I don't know what you are worried about. I only know that you are a student of my Blazing Academy. If someone wants to hurt you or a student of my Blazing Academy, they need to step on my body. This finals you can do whatever you want. After graduation, you will be the vice president of our Blazing Academy. Xiaofei said seriously, "I will try my best to win the championship for us. Let everyone know the true strength of our Blazing Academy." For the finals of the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition, Wuhun City specially opened up a special venue. This site is located in the center of Wuhun City. The huge arena is also 100 meters in diameter and is completely repaired from granite. This huge competition stage is also reinforced with a large number of soul guides to prevent damage. Directly in front of this competition stage is the Papal Palace. From here it is less than a kilometer away from the hill where the Papal Palace is located. The final 3 finalists will compete in front of the Pope's palace. At that time, the Pope will appear in person and crown the final champion. Early in the morning, all participating colleges arrived at the competition venue under the leadership of dedicated personnel from Wuhun Palace. Each college has its own rest area. On both sides were huge stands, where people from the 2 empires came to watch the ceremony. In front of them was the referee team of Wuhun Palace. Early in the morning, Dean Tianqian went to draw lots. After a while, Dean Tianqian came back with a smile on his face. Others quickly asked, "Dean, what's the result of the lottery? Jianshui College, our opponent in the first round is Jianshui College. The game started soon. This was the third game of Blazing Academy. The finals seemed to be very fast-paced. They almost ended in less than half an hour. Finally, it was Blazing Academy's turn to start. 7 people from Blazing Academy walked into the competition venue. Jianshui College opposite also entered the venue. Shui Bing'er suddenly said, "Brother Xiaofei, I didn't expect you to finally play. Is this your strongest lineup?" Huowu said domineeringly. "You will know if it is our strongest lineup just by comparing it." That everyone in the Tiando area basically looked towards Blazing Fire Academy. After all, as we all know, Blazing Fire Academy has 4 soul sects, but in addition to the 4 soul sects, 3 completely new faces actually appeared. Is it still better to go to Blazing Fire Academy? Do you dare to use this kind of finals to train newcomers? Or is it that Blazing Academy has always hidden its strength? Everyone's minds were filled with doubts. The Blazing Academy, headed by Huowu Shuang, lined up. Jianshui College is also lined up opposite. The referee came to the center of the 2 teams. "Get ready for the game. You can release your martial arts. The rules of the game are as before. The loser will be eliminated directly, and the winner will advance to the top 16. Blazing Fire Advanced Soul Master Academy Team vs Jianshui Senior Soul Master College. Preparation." Huowu said domineeringly, "Blazing Fire Academy, release the martial spirit and let us give them a surprise." The 7 people released their martial souls instantly. In front of them all were yellow, purple and purple soul rings, and behind them were shadows of their martial souls. A huge fire phoenix instantly appeared behind Wang Xiaofei, looking at the people on the opposite side with a look of disdain. The fluctuation of soul power in Xiaofei's body was even higher than that of Huowu Shuang. The soul power is level 49, which is higher than Huowu Shuang. This is also the student with the highest soul power currently appearing. And he seems to be less than 15 years old, as the opponent also released his martial spirit. The game begins. With the referee's order, this attention-grabbing competition finally began. Xiaofei was instantly possessed by the martial spirit. The fire phoenix flapped its wings and flew into the sky, and the second spirit ring lit up. The second soul skill, Heart of Fire, is like rain. Then countless feathers on Phoenix's body shot towards the students of Jianshui Academy. All the feathers are like swords. Sword Douluo, who was watching the scene, looked at the fire rain, smiled, and said, "It's interesting," that the other members of Qihua rushed towards the students of Jianshui Academy. The 4 fire crane martial spirit students flew to the 4 directions of Jianshui Academy and began to release their soul skills, which were also filled with sparks like rain. Huowu Shuang directly released his first soul skill, Fire Dragon Impact, and rushed towards the Jianshui Academy lineup. Huowu uses the 4th soul skill, Huowu Yaoyang, a super wide-range attack skill. On the opposite side, Shui Bing'er relied on her 4th soul skill Ice Ring Armor and her instant 1st soul skill Ice Frozen to support her. However, Xiaofei's Rain of Fire seemed to be endless. It not only had super high heat, but also had cutting damage, and both ice and water disappeared quickly. Huowu's Fire Dance Yaoyang on the opposite side has been completed. As soon as Huowu is released, it will directly hit Jianshui's team members. It is estimated that Jianshui Academy will be seriously injured even if they do not die. Shui Bing'er decisively chose to admit defeat. All members of Blazing Fire also recalled their soul power, and the game was over. The consumption of several people is not much. It can be said that it is easy to win. At this time, Shui Bing'er came over and asked, "Is it because of you that Blazing Fire Academy has become so powerful? And with your strength, the fire rain just now should be able to last for a very long time, right?" That before Xiaofei could speak, Huowu said directly, "Of course, Xiaofei's strength is more than that." Shui Bing'er said sadly, "If I had known earlier, I should have kept you in Jianshui College." Then several people left the venue lonely. Huowu raised his eyebrows, bit his silver teeth, and said angrily, "What, Xiaofeizi, you actually wanted to go to Jianshui Academy before? Huo Wu rolled up his sleeves and punched Xiaofei, while the others were watching a play. Half a minute later, Huo Wu left with a refreshed look, while Xiaofei became bruised and swollen. The people in the audience were very surprised when they saw the performance of Blazing Academy. Especially that Wang Xiaofei, whose strength is a bit scary. His second soul skill seems to be stronger than many people's fifth soul skill. A solemn-looking Yu Xiaojiang in the audience asked Tang San next to him, "Xiao San, what do you think?" Tang San thought for a while and said with a solemn expression, "Xiaofei, this move is simply incomprehensible. Although it looks like a simple phoenix feather attack, these feathers are like swords, with strong cutting and piercing abilities. The blue-silver cage probably won't be able to stop him for long. And it's obvious that Xiaofei can control the density of his feathers, which makes it difficult to deal with it. Coupled with his deep soul power, it's estimated that not many teams can stop Shui Binger. It's fast enough, and it can't be blocked even if it uses two soul skills in succession. Moreover, the fire damage of Xiaofei's soul skill is very strong, much stronger than Fatty's." Yu Xiaojiang nodded. Ning Fengji in the audience said, "Uncle Jian, what do you think of this move?" Sword Douluo shook his head. Wang Xiaofei's move should be the flame bird's soul skill, but he modified the feathers in this soul skill to look like swords. I guess only the soul kings from Wuhun Palace can block it. Teams at the soul sect level can't resist this move. Don't forget, this is just his second soul skill. How terrifying will his fourth soul skill be? In terms of Wang Xiaofei's true combat power, it is almost as good as a high-level soul skill. Emperor. Ning Fengji nodded and said, "What a terrifying genius. Now I want to see what his fourth soul skill is like." Chapter 29 Seed Team appears. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The record of Blazing Fire Academy on the first day spread like the wind. Everyone knew that Blazing Fire Academy had a lineup of 7 soul sects, including a level 49 soul sect. This lineup could be said to be the strongest in the history of the Tiando Empire. Tianshui Academy, a recognized strong team in the Tiando Empire, was defeated so completely and so quickly. Many teams have assigned themselves to Tianshui College. I feel that this tactic of Blazing Fire Academy is a bit confusing. First, Wang Xiaofei continued to cover the entire field, then the 4 Fire Crane Soul sects quickly completed the siege, then Huo Wushuang forced his way in and destroyed the defensive lineup, and finally Huo Wu's Super Energy Soul skill harvested the entire field. A set of movements is like clouds and flowing water, linked together. No matter Huo Wushuang or Wang Xiaofei, with their super high soul power, they can't stop them alone. Moreover, Qihua actually has 5 students who can fly. They are extremely fast and cannot be guarded against. There were 3 young people standing in front of the ring, 2 men and 1 woman, all of whom had solemn expressions. The woman has flowing blonde hair and is very beautiful, with a charming look between her eyebrows. A man is very handsome, with a sharp look between his eyebrows. The last one has fiery red hair and a very resolute face. These 3 people are the 3 soul kings of the golden generation of Wuhun Palace, Hulaina, Xiaoyu, and Yan. Xiaoyu said, "Nana, what do you think of this Blazing Academy?" Hulaina smiled and said, "Their tactical plan is good, but it is still far behind ours. First of all, their average soul power is 5 levels lower than ours. If they cannot suppress their soul power, this strategy will be useless. The method works. Secondly, they have no support. Although their explosive power is very strong, their sustainability will be very poor. Their main core is somewhat similar to ours, with 1 strong attack, 1 agility attack, and 1 control. As long as they block their first move, their lineup will be destroyed. As long as they can block that Wang Xiaofei and prevent them from surrounding and cutting the battlefield, then let them fight each other, and we can easily defeat them." Xiaoyu and Yan also nodded. At the same time, Shrek's Yu Xiaojiang and others were also discussing this issue. Yu Xiaojiang asked, "Xiao San, what do you think of Chihua's tactics?" Tang San thought for a while and said, "Blazing Fire's tactics are actually very simple, but the difference in soul power between us Shrek and theirs is too big. Now we only have 4 soul sects, while Blazing Fire has 7 soul sections. Their average soul power is 6 levels higher than ours. Even with Rongrong's increase, the gap is still relatively large, and they have 5 flying soul masters, and we only have 1. Even if we use the 7-in-1 fusion technique, their 5 flying soul masters can avoid us at extremely fast speeds and directly attack Rongrong and Xiao Ao behind them. It will be dangerous then. Now we can only use the Netherworld White Tiger to deal with Wang Xiaofei and strive for a quick victory. I will deal with Hu Wushuang. Yu Xiaojiang concluded, yes, this is the only way now. The next game continued. Shrek Academy also easily defeated a weak team from Silla and advanced to the second round. There was nothing particularly eye-catching about the first round. The strong teams basically won. In the second round, Blazing Academy took a break, and at the same time, the 3 major seeds finally made their appearance. The strength of the 3 teams is eye-catching. The first person to appear was Tiando Royal Academy. Standing at the front were Yu Tianheng, Du Guyan and Yi Lenglan. Yu Tianheng looked more domineering, Du Guyan was more charming, and Yi Lenglan looked more quiet. After the Tiando Royal Academy team came on stage, the entire field was filled with Du Guyan's poisonous mist. The poisonous mist was very corrosive, and then several team members gradually harvested it. Yu Tianheng also flashed with lightning all over his body, and his strength and speed were very good. The composition of the Tiando Royal Academy team members is very balanced, including strong attack, agility attack, defense, flying, and nanny. There are people in each configuration. Xingluo Royal Academy is even more domineering. Davis has very flowing golden hair, a handsome and bold face, and a pair of eyes that are a bit like the double pupils in fantasy novels. Zhu Zhuyun is as sexy as a cat, with a very exaggerated figure. Star Luo Royal Academy focused more on offense and was more domineering. Davis and Zhu Zhuyun completed the fusion of martial arts in an instant. A huge and domineering ghost white tiger straddled the field and pounced directly on the opponent, stretching out its huge tiger claws. This strike it is estimated to be close to the Soul Emperor's attack. The Netherworld White Tiger wreaked havoc on the field. After a few rounds, all the opponents fell to the ground, leaving only a huge roar of tigers on the field. The last one to appear is the Wuhundian team. Captain Xiaoyu said to all the team members that now Blazing Fire Academy, Tiando Royal Academy, and Star Luo Royal Academy have shown their momentum. We must show our strength and let everyone know who is the leader of this continent. Soul Master Overlord, the trio of Soul Kings from Wuhun Palace walked at the front, followed by 4 team members. After the Wuhundian team came on stage, everyone felt a huge sense of oppression. There were 3 Soul Kings and 4 high-level Soul sects, and their soul power was obviously better than the other members. After the Wuhuan appeared, 3 black soul rings woke up all the audience. The 20-year-old Soul King was the seed of a titled Douluo. I saw Xiaoyu and Hulaina coming together. A burst of red light flashed from their bodies, and they suddenly turned into a demon wearing a mask and holding 2 swords in their hands. Then a large area of red mist appeared, and the demon walked towards the away team. Only a scream was heard, the demon was lifted, the red mist disappeared, and all the visiting team members fell to the ground. Obviously, Yumei is the fusion skill of the 2 martial arts. Yumei's red mist has the ability to seriously isolate sight and mental power. The victory of the Spirit Hall team caused panic in the whole audience. It was obvious that Yao Mei already had the strength of a Soul Emperor. The Soul Emperor was like an adult beating a child against a Soul Sect and a Soul Lord. Everyone was very frightened. Is this the strength of the Spirit Hall? Instantly killed a team that entered the finals, and basically showed no strength, and the opponent did not even resist. The second round of the game ended just like this. The strength of the 3 teams that were sent in was very surprising. They are worthy of being representatives of a country. Shrek Academy once again drew an average team and easily advanced. In the third round, Shrek Academy in the Tiando region had a bye. Shrek Academy ranked second in the Tiando region in the promotion match, only losing to Chihua. Chihua Academy appeared again, this time facing the Kamikaze team. Kamikaze and Chihua had interacted many times, and the two sides knew each other well. After a battle, Kamikaze Academy was defeated. Captain Kamikaze looked at Huowu and left the field dejectedly, and several seeded teams also advanced easily. In this way, the teams that advanced to the fourth round were Wuhun Hall Team, Tiando Royal Academy Team, Xingluo Royal Academy Team, Blazing Academy Team, Shrek Academy Team, and Longkue Academy Team from Xingluo. Obviously, Longkue Academy Team was much weaker than the other teams, as they only had 2 Soul Masters. Chapter 30 Fierce Battle. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. After another day of rest, the 6 participating teams came to the competition venue. According to the current situation, almost all teams hope to draw the Longkue Academy team, and it is obvious that they will advance to the top 3. As a result, Dean Hua Tianchen returned to the residence a little depressed. Hua Tianchen looked at everyone's anxious eyes and said, "We are not very lucky. The results of the random inspection are out. We drew the Xingluo Royal Academy team, the Wuhun Hall team played against the Tiando Royal Academy team, and the Shrek Academy team played against the Longkue Academy team." Huowu said domineeringly, "Isn't it just the Xingluo Royal Academy team? Our goal is to win the championship, and the Xingluo Royal Academy team will win sooner or later." Xiaofei was a little strange. Wasn't the original story about the Shrek Academy team against the Xingluo Royal Academy team? Why is it now the Chihua Academy? Is it because of my joining? Or is it because of other reasons? The match between the Wuhun Hall team and the Tiando Royal Academy team was the first to be played. I saw that Yen of the Spirit Hall team took the lead and directly used the 5th soul skill Flying Sand and Crazy Flame. A large range of flying sand and flame attacks appeared on the ground instantly. Dugu Yan's poisonous fog was also affected and gradually dissipated. Yen and Yu Tianheng fought together. Yu Tianheng was obviously a little defeated, and other personnel also fought together. Xia Yu and Hulaina's demon charm was launched, instantly covering a large area of red fog, and bursts of screams appeared in the red fog. Then the red fog dissipated, and the Tiando Royal Academy team had all fallen to the ground. It was another quick battle. The Tiando Royal Academy team had almost no power to fight back, and the whole audience cheered. The Spirit Hall team can be said to have defeated the opponent effortlessly. The next team to play was the Shrek Academy team and the Longkue Academy team. As expected, Shrek Academy easily defeated Longkue Academy. Tang San didn't even use the Clear Sky Hammer. He used the Blue Silver Grasses Meteor Hammer to entangle these attacking team members to fight. Shrek's personnel seemed very flexible, and several people rotated very quickly, and Ma Hongjun supported the Sky Flame. In the back, Ning Rongrong commanded a huge 7 Treasures Glazed Tower, constantly releasing amplifications to the personnel. Xiaofei carefully looked at the Shrek team. As of now, Shrek's hidden strength mainly includes Dai Mubai and Zhu Zhuqing's Martial Soul Fusion skill Nether White Tiger, Oscar's Flying Mushroom Sausage, and the 7-in-1 Martial Soul Fusion skill. But their strength is obviously lower than the original work. I don't know if Tang San can withstand the 7-in-1 Martial Soul Fusion skill. Then came today's focus battle, the Blazing Academy team and the Xingluo Royal Academy team. Blazing adopted the same tactics, but when Xiaofei just flew into the sky to release and prepare for the second soul skill, Davis and Zhu Zhuyan's Martial Soul Fusion skill Nether White Tiger had already started, and directly pounced on Xiaofei. If Xiaofei releases a large-scale skill, the Nether White Tiger will directly hurt Xiaofei in the Rain of Fire, and strive to eliminate Xiaofei with one blow. However, to everyone's surprise, Xiaofei still launched the spirit skill of Raining Sparks, but this time all the feathers did not disperse, but all the feathers gathered together to form a giant sword, stabbing the oncoming Nether White Tiger with all his strength, a bit like Jian Douluo's Wanjian Guizong. The Nether White Tiger faced the giant sword in the air and screamed fiercely. The other members of the Blazing Academy used the same tactics as before, and rushed to the other members of the Xingluo Royal Academy team. Especially the auxiliary personnel of Xingluo, who were not allowed to assist the Nether White Tiger. With a wail from the nether white tiger, the nether white tiger fell from the sky, and the white tiger was divided into Davis and Zhu Zhuyun. The two people had fainted on the ground, covered in blood, and were obviously seriously injured. At another scene, the other members of the Xingluo Royal Academy team were eliminated one by one. In this way, the Blazing Academy team won again and entered the top 3 of the competition, and the Xingluo Royal Academy team was eliminated. The audience was stunned. Wang Xiaofei's second soul skill actually had such a change, and it looked very dangerous, with extremely strong single-target lethality. The Shrek Academy team swallowed their saliva. They originally planned to use this tactic, but the nether white tiger, which was stronger than them, was defeated in one blow. Now it was difficult to fight. The sword Douluo next to Ningfengji nodded and said, "This kid has a talent for sword practice, but it's a pity that the martial soul is not a sword, otherwise I would like to accept him as a disciple." In this way, the 4th round of the competition ended. All personnel can rest for 3 days and wait for the final 5th round, which is the real finals. The final finalists were the Wuhun Hall team, the Blazing Fire team and the Shrek team. The popularity of the 3 teams instantly reached the extreme. Up to now, Blazing Fire Academy does not seem to have shown much. Wang Xiaofei has only used 1 soul skill, and Huo Wu's fusion ring has not been used. The rest of the people can release up to 3 soul skills. Of course, the popularity of the Shrek team is relatively low, and many people doubt their strength to enter the top 3. But they were lucky. Who told them to always draw weak teams? 3 days later, in front of the Pope's palace, early in the morning, the 3 teams that entered the final 3 had already appeared in front of the Pope's palace and waited quietly. A total of 21 players participating in the final stood quietly on the square, waiting for the arrival of this final moment. A team of people walked out of the side door of the Pope's palace. A total of 12 cardinals, whose status was second only to the Platinum Bishop, walked slowly over. They walked to the door of the Pope's palace and stood on the left and right, 6 people on each side. The leader shouted loudly, "His Majesty the Pope has arrived. Long live, long live, long live." The huge palace door slowly opened, and the 6 emblems on the 2 doors gradually deviated from the track. Wearing a bright golden dress from head to toe, wearing a purple gold crown on her head, and holding a scepter in her hand, Bibi Dong took the lead to walk out of the Pope's palace with a solemn look on her face. There was an unreal feeling about her whole body. All the members of Wuhun Palace knelt on the ground at this moment. "See His Majesty the Pope." The atmosphere at this moment was indescribable. At this time, on this platform, only 7 people from Shrek Academy did not kneel down. Even the 7 people from Blazing Academy were already kneeling on the ground. Bibi Dong's eyes fell directly on these 7 young people, and all the members of the Spirit Hall looked at the Shrek 7 monsters angrily. "How dare you disrespect the Pope?" The cardinal who had been singing loudly shouted angrily. Bibi Dong's eyes had become calm and she raised her hand. The cardinal immediately shut his mouth with a look of awe on his face. With a faint smile on her face, Bibi Dong stared at Tang San. "Are you Tang San, the master's disciple?" Tang San was shocked. He didn't expect that the extremely beautiful Pope in front of him also recognized him. "Teacher." "Yes, His Majesty the Pope." He replied neither humble nor arrogantly. Bibi Dong nodded to Tang San. "You are very good. You do have some of the character of your teacher back then. Get back on your feet." All the people who were kneeling on the ground stood up. Because of the Pope's inquiry to Tang San and his words of affirmation, their eyes on the Shrek 7 devils were no longer so angry. Wang Xiaofei also looked at the Pope and Shrek with a speechless expression. If he dared not to kneel down, his legs would probably be broken. Shrek's people were completely fine. A smile appeared on Bibi Dong's face, and her eyes swept from left to right across the 21 young soul masters who participated in the top 3 finals. "I see hope from you. In front of the Pope's palace, I hope to see all your talents and strength. The final winner will receive the biggest reward from the Spirit Palace." As she spoke, she waved the scepter in her hand. No one saw clearly how she did it. 3 points of light instantly magnified in front of Bibi Dong and floated in the air. They were three different things, both small in size and shaped like bones. They were a right arm bone, a skull, and a left leg bone. There are also three colors of fiery red, light blue and dark green light shining on it. Soul bones, those are exactly three soul bones. Even under the Pope Mountain, the light of the three soul bones can be clearly seen. For a time, the entire Wuhun city was completely boiling. Standing behind the Pope, Ghost Douluo said in his deep voice, "The three soul bones are the skull of wisdom that condenses the spirit, the right arm that bursts with burning flames, and the left leg that rushes forward to chase the wind. These three soul bones, the soul bones, are all from 10,000-year-old soul beasts. Among them, the spiritually condensed wisdom skull is from a soul beast that is more than 50,000 years old. It is the best among soul bones. Second only to external soul bones and top-level soul bones produced by 100,000-year soul beasts." The Pope said calmly, "There is always only one winner, and the same is true for the champion. Therefore, these three soul bones will all belong to the final champion team. I hope that the three colleges you entered into the top three can go all out to win this honor." The Pope continued, "This morning, there will be an individual elimination match for each of your three teams with 7 players. The remaining teams will take the lead. They will directly enter the championship competition tomorrow. The 2 losing teams will compete for another final spot in the afternoon. Now, you can send out the first player." At this point, the finals begin. Author's note: this paragraph in the original work is very well written. No matter how I write this paragraph, it will be almost the same, so I will simply learn from the original work.